That's the 3-step process. Academy members know this already. So we start with the gathering. And this is not composing yet. This is just gathering colors and sounds and rhythms and maybe scales even. Stuff that might be usable for a composition. Don't think about how to organize them. Don't think about the finished piece. At this phase, it's all about finding good resources, stuff that you can be using later. Now, you will end up with a ton of stuff very quickly. This usually happens because that's a fun step in this whole process. Now, once you believe you have enough stuff to use, then think about organizing this whole set of gatherings. And this brings us into sketching. Now we talk about, well, let's use some of those structures and let's write some actual bars of music. And from there, you can be inspired again to go back even and bring in some new sources. And it becomes a circle. And this all is a fun process, where the opposite of that would be hunting for ideas. That is hard, because now it's on you. You either find something or you don't. And if you don't, then it doesn't feel good. You might face a deadline. The client might be on the phone asking if he can come by your studio in an hour and he wants to listen to something, and you have literally nothing to show. This creates a lot of stress and pressure. Of course, let's not do that. That is not the idea of how to approach composition. The moment we get to this thing right here and have a good sketch, let's say, a good organized sketch, now that's the moment where we take it to the orchestration or build a bigger arrangement out of that. And that becomes the frame of how to create a piece of music. And it will break things down, mainly because you're using different parts of your brain for these 2 first steps compared to the 3rd step. This one right here is your emotional decision making. That's the blue parts. The orange part, that's your logical, your rational decision making. For those guys who are into, brain science, I'm not a doctor, but that is what I've read about that subject. It's the limbic system that is responsible for our emotional decision making. It's the neocortex that is responsible for the logical decision making, also speech. Now the funny part is, both parts of the brain can't coexist at the same time. It's not possible. If I ask you, well guys, what is 22 minus 7? And please give me the answer. And now if you thought about that, okay, the answer is 15, right? How did you feel during your calculation? I guarantee you didn't feel anything, since you were not emotional, you were rational, right? You can also test this with your kids. If you have kids and the kids are screaming because they are angry or whatever, ask them, why are your shoes red? Out of context, they look at their shoes. Well, they are red? Really? I didn't know. And then they are thinking. They are not emotional anymore. It actually works. I have a daughter, I tried this when she was younger. Now she's kind of too old. She understands what's going on. Now I have to be smarter than this.